Man, put the eighth down and come solve these problems. Man, an eighth?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm well. Can't complain.
You at work today, or how's it going? Like, you off or you at work?
No. I'm home, but have to be to work for 2 o'clock.
Okay. All right. So let's get to it then. I'm not gonna try to hold you too long. When did you start smoking? Why did you quit?
Well, I started smoking. I was about 17. I quit. When did I quit? I quit in like 2004. I stopped smoking. The reason why I stopped smoking, I had a real wake-up call with smoking one day. You know how you just smoke and it just hits you one day and you're praying to God, like, just take me off this high. I'll never smoke again. I was so zooted, and I ain't never smoke again after that day.
Whoa. Well, okay. Where'd you get it from? Like, what was it? What was you smoking? Like, some regular weed, some mid-grade? You was on some loud pack?
It was some exotic weed from California. And
okay.
I stopped smoking after that day, and it was me and my boyfriend, and at the time he was fine. It was, it was me. I was like, am I tripping? Nah, I ain't never smoking again. And I ain't never smoke again.
Damn. Okay, so you had a bad experience that turned you off of it. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and you know what? It happened previously too, like at different times. But I would be like, you know what? I'm high. I'm just tripping. Let me fall back, eat something, go to sleep, and I would be good. But that last time I had that weed from California, I was like, never again. And I just never smoked again.
Now that you said it was your boyfriend, so obviously, I mean, I'm assuming, but I still gotta ask. That's a person that you trusted at that time. Like you did trust the person you were smoking with. You, like, in the sense of, you don't think they put nothing in. Okay.
Right.
All right.
I would. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Damn. I've never had that type of bad experience.
Smoking. I was definitely a loner smoker. Like, I never smoked with nobody, but him or by myself.
Okay, so if that's the case, if you were a loner smoker, you know how to roll?
Of course.
Okay. When you were smoking, what did you roll? Like, what was you smoking in? Joints? You smoking like blunts or like pipe?
I was using Fonto leaf and blunts.
Damn. So you was rolling the Fonto, like the Fonto leaf? You twist them up, like, okay.
Twist it up. Yep. Flick it down. Roll it.
Damn. Okay. See, you throwing me for a loop because there's so many questions I have now. Man, we ain't gonna dig too deep, but it's just more of like 2004. From what I'm hearing, you got that weed off the streets. That's definitely not dispensary. Y'all ain't had no dispensaries up there in New York.
No, we didn't have no dispensary. Definitely not. We didn't have no weed crushers. You had to chop that up with your fingers, smash it out real good, take the seeds out.
Damn. Okay. Man, you giving me more context because when I met you and I came up to New York or whatever, I was smoking, and my wife. Now, this is what she told me. Oh, not true. This is what she told me. Like, she told me she never smoked, and she also told me she never talked to anybody who smoked. So, like, on a serious level, smoke weed. So then I was like, okay, well, when I go up, I know I'm smoking. But I got around her friends, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody even like looked sideways or like, oh, he got weed. Or I was thinking that like it was gonna be different. Like, okay, well, if she don't smoke, and I know her friends probably ain't smoking, they gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy, or why he, why she with him type stuff. But I never got that feeling from you. So I was curious as to, I wonder, did she have history with weed, or was it she just fucked with me like that? Like I ain't know what it was.
Yeah, that's never smoked either. Like I would smoke, you wouldn't even know that I smoked. It was so low key. Huh?
Right. I say, you see, I'm surprised right now. Like when you told me that, I was very surprised. I thought this was going to go in a whole other direction. Like for real. Okay, so what made you want to keep it low key? And I'm asking that for a specific reason. I'm going somewhere with this one.
I just feel like, some things you do is your business. It's not for everybody to know what you do.
I like that answer. Okay, are you low key if you sip some alcohol?
I'm not a drinker, so.
Oh, okay.
And at the time weed wasn't really legal. That wasn't it could be social. Like now it's a social thing. Drinking could be a social thing. I'm not a drinker. Like I would smoke before I would drink. Drinking, I have drunk before, but it doesn't, the way it makes me feel, it does nothing for me. So that's not my thing.
Yeah, I like that. All right, let's rewind just a little bit. You said you started at 17. That was kind of around the era I started as well, like 16, 17. You remember who you started smoking with?
I had a homegirl, Camille. Her brother used to hustle weed, so she used to take his weed, and we just started smoking one day. And then it just was up from there. We just were smoking every day with her brother weed.
Damn, so you smoking for free. Was it good, though? Like, well, you don't even know. It was in the beginning. You don't even know if you were smoking good weed or not, do you?
Well, I'm going to tell you that it was good because everybody used to be coming to him to get it. So I know, as you get older and you be like, damn, that's, you now you're trying different strands. That was good weed. And you know what? Okay. The weed from back then to now, the smell is totally different. And it was definitely a different type of high.
Okay, positive or negative? Because I know, different can be either way. So, yeah, compare it, positive or negative, in the sense of the smell and the high.
The smell is right now, I don't like the smell of this new weed. I don't like it. You driving on a highway in a car, you could smell it in your car. I'm like, and I feel like being now that they're legalizing weed and the government is taking over it, I don't trust it. That's just my view on that. I tell the kids all the time, I work with young girls, they smoke weed every day. They can't think straight. They can't do anything unless they smoke weed. I'm like, I just find it horrible. Like, so many kids are smoking, and it's like they can't do nothing. They can't function without smoking. I never had that experience.
Well, the key word I heard in there was kids. So, like, these children that you're talking about, how old, like, age-wise, we're talking? Like,
16
you don't got
to 21.
Okay, so 16 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that being said, even though you've admitted that you started smoking at 17, I admitted on this call that I started smoking at 16, 17. Like, I don't lie to myself. That's one thing I don't do. I might lie to other people, but I definitely don't lie to myself. It's not for children. Like, your mind ain't even developed to where you need to be doing that right now, whether it was old weed back in the day or today's weed. Like, regardless, like as a child, you ain't really supposed to be doing that. I have to put that out there, you know.
You really shouldn't be smoking because you really don't know what you're doing or what it is you want to do. A lot of the times, I never was a follower. I always was a leader. And a lot of the times people do things because of peer pressure, or it's like, my parents smoke, like my dad smoked weed, so it's like sometimes it's within your view of people that you're around all the time. So it might be, like you pick up habits, like people have parents that smoke cigarettes and then kids end up smoking cigarettes. I knew that was something that I never wanted to try. I never smoked cigarettes. But, weed, I was like, you know what, let me try it. I mean, it seems like the thing to do. Let me try it because I wanted to do it. A lot of these kids are doing things because of peer pressure, and they don't know how to handle it once they start doing it. And I feel like it's an additive in the weed that's making these kids addicted to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to elaborate on that part, but to make sure before we get off this subject, I talked to you about your daddy and your mom, like your mom and your dad on the smoking tip. I want to make sure to touch on that. But you just brought up a really good point. Because I smoked this shit back to back to back. I ain't going to lie. And I know back in the day, you didn't have to do that. And now...
No, you would have your little one joint, and you could puff on that for like 2 days.
I don't know about 2 days, but I feel you, though. I do feel you. I know what you're saying. But see, like, okay, so let's go there, because, we in two totally different regions of the country. So, and we started smoking around the same era. Now, if you Vashti friend, I know you're older than me, but we in the same era. When we were younger, I would get regular weed or mid-grade weed. Mid-grade weed didn't have seeds. Regular weed did have seeds. Both would get you high, but, you just prefer, the mid-grade. We also would every now and then get us some get us some hydro and stuff like that. So that's what we used to call it back then. Hydro, yeah,
right.
So if some sour came through, right, some perp might have came through. Just something that was nice, that California weed you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was the delicacy. So we would probably mix that up with something. We wouldn't even smoke a whole blunt of that. But today, that's like the normal weed. Like the high grade weed is damn near the normal weed, but it's not grown the same. And I think it's definitely a lot of additives. I think it's definitely chemically grown, and I think it is addictive to a certain degree. Like I used to always say, weed is not addictive. You can quit whenever you want to, and it's in your mind. I still believe that.
Right.
However, this weed that we smoking on a daily basis, man, yeah.
Okay, so what if I just told you that due to work I had to take a course, on drugs, because I deal with these kids that use drugs, and they said it's 2% of fentanyl in every grade of weed that's out there.
What? Say that again. Say that slowly and break that down. Like, what did you just say? Because I heard fentanyl. What?
Yeah. They said it's about a 2% of fentanyl that's in the weed strands that are out here in New York City. I don't know about all over, but in New York.
So you should be getting weed from a trusted source. I stress that. Like, I know it's hard, but right. I say that all the time. Get it from a trusted source in the sense of try to get it from somebody you know, and who's maybe somebody who's been doing it for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because they usually going to be using some of the same people. So
right.
It's just a trust issue all the way around.
You have to trust your source, because you just, some people want to have the best, so you don't know what they're putting in their weed to make it, to where it's suiting your needs. Like, oh, he got the best weed, I'll be getting real high, I'll be stuck, These kids just want to get high, and I don't know. Everybody have their thing of why they smoke and how it makes them feel and why they need to do it.
Now, but you said you had to do it for the job. Was that in result of, I guess, what the children are doing? Like, they seeing all this type of stuff, so it's like, okay, we need y'all to be more informed, we need y'all to be prepared, so go take this class, or they were just offering?
Well, we had to take a class due to drug overdose, not just with weed, with, this is another topic that I wanted to discuss, too, with this weed. Back in the days, you never heard of somebody dying from smoking weed, right? So there's high rates of kids dying from smoking weed, and 9 times out of 10, it is laced with fentanyl, or it's laced with another substance, so where it's causing heart attacks. And these kids are so young, having a heart attack off of just smoking, quote-unquote, weed. That was never a thing. I never heard of anybody ODing off of weed or smoking weed to where they died.
Well, I'm big on words and big on terms. So when I hear that, and give me some pushback, because, people, this is for the show, too, so give me some pushback if you don't feel this. What you just described is weed that's laced with something, and we're talking about children and taking, smoke inhalation, and also just taking something that they ain't supposed to be taking. Now, if it was weed that was maybe just grown, like cannabis just grown outside or grown in a hydroponic type atmosphere or environment, I don't know if that child dying. I still haven't heard a child or an adult dying from smoking marijuana. Now, if you're telling me that this marijuana that's on the streets is laced with, even if it's 1% fentanyl, it's fentanyl nonetheless. You could tell me it's 0.1. You could tell me it's 0.1 cyanide in it. It's still in it. So because that, even if it's small amounts, that shit build up. So you tripping. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that's really the same. Could we compare that to, okay, I smoke weed every day. Now, I don't know if it's laced, but I ain't never had no side effects that it's laced. And then nothing happened to me, but then the other people who are doing it, but we find out that it was something on the marijuana or in the marijuana. We can't really say they died from marijuana. What you think?
Yeah, well, no, just that the marijuana is most likely laced. But you know what these kids tell me? Because I talk to them every day on a daily basis about drug use. And these girls tell me, like, you know what? They know, like, the weed is laced with fentanyl, but they say it has small traces in it. And then they add the grabber to it, and it gives them this extra boost of high. But I'm just like, how do you know that whoever or wherever you're getting your weed from has the right percentage of fentanyl on it, or too much? Or, you know, how do you know that it's not going to do anything to you? So this same class that I took, these kids are taking, so they know also. It's not just, you know, all of the counselors that we know, or the social workers, or the case workers. Like, we have the same training. So they know exactly what they're getting or what they're buying. They just don't care. These kids are, these new millennial kids, they think totally different.
All right, well, you keep saying stuff. We still ain't touch on your daddy and your mama, and make sure you put a pin on that millennial. All right, put a pin in that one. Okay. All right, 1982. Always remember that. Millennial, 1982. Anyways, when you just talked about the kids and the drugs, that made me think about, like, you damn near giving, like, therapy sessions to these children. Like, you really, like, talk to, and it sounds like you're talking to mostly females. And are they non-white females or?
No, well, let's say mixed. I have mixed girls, but more minority kids.
Okay, but so mostly what I'm trying to see is demographic-wise, you don't have a lot of white people.
No, not at all.
Okay. All right.
Maybe one or two, but that's about it.
Okay. Before we slide too far, because now we kind of talking about the children and stuff, you saw your parents. Well, you said your dad. I was going to ask, did your mom smoke as well, or just your dad?
No, just my dad.
Okay, just your dad. And when you were younger, you saw it, you smelt it. Like, did he smoke around you?
Let's say, not that he smoked around me, but you know, when you were a kid, I was a nosy kid, so I knew everything that was going on around. And you know, I've walked into the room, seen him smoking, or been around, and I've seen him, like, down the block smoke. You know, it's just things that you see. I've seen his eyes bloodshot red. When I was a kid, I was never stupid. I always was, you know, I don't want to use the word stupid. I was always advanced.
Sound like you were aware. Like you definitely were aware. Sound like you were inquisitive. You want to ask questions. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
back then you didn't ask too many questions, you know. As a kid, you know, we were kids. These kids now growing up are different than we are. They outspoken. You know, you stayed in the kid place, but you still knew what was going on. Understood
that. Yeah, I understand. Now, you brought up the millennials, and that's a word that it kind of get under my skin, because I really want to get technical. Me and you are millennials. 1982 is when it starts, and I don't even understand it. Like it don't make sense that I was born in 1984, but yet you lump me in with these crazy motherfuckers you talking about right now. Like, we not the same. We wasn't even raised in the same era. Like, a millennial could be my child, and I could be a millennial. That shit don't make sense to me. So I just wanted to touch on that because you brought that word up. You introduced it, and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it. What do you think of that? Because you just said it yourself. These millennials crazy. I agree to a certain extent. But if you really get ticky-tack to the letter, 1982 is when they say millennials start. What you got?
To 1994.
Yes. So 82 to 1994 is the millennial. So that's a big little gap. So watch this. Destiny is a millennial, and you are a millennial. How does that work?
The way, you sit down and you have a conversation. Some of these kids are mature. Some of these kids, the conversation that you have, you're looking at them like, I was 116, and it's just your mindset was in a total different place. These kids have these kids today, I feel like they don't have any morals, or, they don't have no cares about anything. It's just like, whatever, I'm doing whatever the consequences is, that's just what it is.
So thank you for going down that road with me on that. And I agree with you. I agree. It's just that they consider us the same thing, and I feel weird about that. And you're correct, but I think these children have just been raised differently than we were raised, just like our parents was looking at us like, man, y'all ass crazy. You know what I'm saying? But they was just raised different than we was raised. And then watch this. Right. Your grandma and them age gonna look at their children and be like, man, y'all ass was, and then we came through and it was like, oh my Lord, what is going on with the world? And now we see these other ones, and it's like we spiraling in a negative way. Like we're not getting better. We're getting worse. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And the children are the product. Like you see the product of it. So parents on down to it's just. But now I don't have any children. I have to say that too. So I mean, you have them, and you're around. You talk to them more. So I got to lean more to what you're saying compared to my side of it, because it's just me, Vash, and the dog.
It's me, the 2 kids, and 2 dogs. And I mean, you go through things with your children. Some could be worse than others. And being that I work with these kids, and then I come home to my kids, I thank God. I'm like, it's like my kids could be worse. Sometimes my daughter does things to make me pissed off, and I'm like, I look at the kids that I'm around, I'm like, you know what, she could be doing, her life could be down a whole different path, but she's not doing that, so, and then what, some of these children and kids, they have really good parents, and then, they'd be like, oh, well, we blame the parents for the way these children are or the way they behave, and it's not the parents, it's the children. They don't have any respect. And I know respect is earned and it's not given, but you're supposed to respect your parents, right? These kids, they don't respect their parents. But I don't know if my kids are scared of me, but I do lay the law down. So it's like, it's my way or no way.
And I got to ask you something then. When I hear what you just said, behavior is conditioned, and also I don't blame people for what they don't know, but once you do know, like it's what do you do after that? You have this knowledge, so now what do you do? So if you're saying that a child is brought into this world and they're supposed to know to respect and to show, just have some type of morals.
No, it's definitely
I have to add, it's like you have to, that's what I'm about to say. It's foundation, structure, guidance. That's at the root. That's at the root.
Right. But some of these children, their parents gave it to them. It's just that they want to do what they want to do.
So then I have to ask environment. Let's talk about environment being the shaper of the behavior. Like if you had a twin, or if you had maybe just 2 other Madinas that's like exactly like you, we put them in a totally different environment around the world somewhere, anywhere. You pick it. I don't care what. You just pick the place. 2 places. You put them other 2 people. Y'all gonna have a lot of characteristics that's the same, but that y'all personality-wise, y'all might be totally different. It's the environment that you in that's gonna shape. So what I mean is, if these children are being put into a world of nothing but devices, and okay, let me slow down. When I was younger, my biggest influence was my peers. My parents could tell me everything in the world. Once I go out the house, once I'm out in the world, my peers, my cousins, my the people I want to hang out with, like, they influence me way more. Now, watch this. You give a child the foundation, the strong foundation, they'll rarely part from that. So meaning when they're in the world, things are going to come at them, and you've given them tools and they're equipped. So now when things come up, okay, my mom and my daddy, they don't even stand for this. I might go do it, but it feel weird me doing it, because that's not my core. That's not my nature. Like, that's what I mean. You need that type of stuff. So they gave that to them. But now some children be like, fuck that. I'm going to buck, but I say they only going to buck, not because it's in them to buck. I think they're going to buck because of the environment they're in, and it's conducive for them to do that. Like, the family unit is not even pushed on anything that they do. In any kind of way, any device, anything they watch, anything, whatever, anything they're involved in, it don't push that family unit. It don't push that structure. So friends growing up in it, and then I want to be around him because he cool. I want to be around her because she cool. But then really think about it, they whole unit, it's all fucked up over it. It's nothing but chaos. But I'm in a good situation. I got, But I see that over there, and that's what I want to do. I'm cool. They cool. I want to be over there with they like. That's
Like, you have
me.
kids
That's what I
that grew
see.
up like in a great environment, but they want to find out what
shit.
trouble is.
Yeah.
They like, you know what? Yeah, I want to, let me go to the hood. I want to know what the hood life is like,
Were you that
Some of
child?
them can't handle it when they get there. You know what? To be honest with you, I feel like I grew up in the best of both worlds. Like, I want to say, my mom's side was uppity and my dad's side was hood. So it's like, being that I came from a single parent home, I had the best of both worlds, meaning like I was over here with the cousins and over there with these cousins. So I knew how to act in certain places,
Yeah, that's
being
about
able
balance.
to. And, growing up that way, having the best of, I want to say it's the best of both worlds, it made me very diverse. So I know when I'm in a room with this class of people, I know that I'm acting, basically it's like being a chameleon. You go here and you're able to fit in, and you go with these set of people, you're able to fit in over here, it makes you well diverse.
Yeah, that's a skill. Not a lot of people don't have that. Knowing when to turn it on, turn it off. And different crowds, different environments.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, chameleon. I agree with all that you just said. Yeah, no pushback.
Yeah, because like I had my daughter going to private school most of her life, and then she went to a public school that was mixed, and now this high school she's going to, there's a lot of Caucasian kids. Now she's going away to college this year. She's like, I want to go to a HBC school. She hears about the parties and all the fun and, all of these things. And she's like, I just want to be around my own people. And I'm looking at her, but she's like a black girl, but a valley girl at the same time. I'm like, I hope she could fit in,
Now, what are your thoughts on what type of school she goes to? I know she said what she want to do, but what your thoughts? What are you thinking?
To be very honest, I don't want to give her, like, I let her choose because I feel like she's a young adult now, and I've done a lot of picking and choosing of telling her what she's going to do, and, so now I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what, she'll be 18 this year. Let her choose where she wants to go because now this is her life, her education. She has to make these choices for herself because I told her, I don't, if she went to trade school, I still would support her no matter what, avenue she took. But I want her to be happy in the choices that she makes. So her choosing to go to whichever school she wants to, that's her choice.
What type of school did you go to?
I just went to a private college.
Okay. Now hindsight, looking back on it. Oh, in New Rochelle. Okay. All right. That's so. Let me test my Florida knowledge. Let me see. I'm from down here, so New Rochelle. That's upstate. That's upstate New York. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know my shit. People be thinking I don't know New York. I know New York. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it like that, but I know some shit. I grew up on hip hop. I'm a Harlem nigga with a South Central state of mind. I say this shit all the time. So like they say,
with a Florida state of mind?
Pasadena to Medina. Nah, not even. Nah, I'm telling you, Pasadena to Medina. Ain't that what they always say? You know what I'm saying? East to west, west to east. So, yeah, it's cool. That's what I actually want to get to. Let's get to this stuff. We just having a little small talk. Let's get to it. I have Madina on the line. Now, Madina, I'm going to start this show a little bit differently because you graced me with your presence and you gave me some time. So I've always been curious. Who named you? Where'd you get your name from?
Okay. So my father named me. It was during the time, like, we all have Muslim names. My sister Maisha. So my name is Muslim. It's the holy city in Mecca. And, my dad, he named me. And that was when he was into his Muslim days. Like, he had turned 5%, and then he went to becoming Muslim. So my dad named me.
Would you elaborate? So 5%, what does that even mean?
5%ers, it's like, have you ever heard of it before?
Kinda, but not really. I know it's something that they do in New York. I think I don't know if they do it anywhere else. Do they?
I think they do. It's like they call themselves the 5% nation. It's referred to as the nation of gods, like Earth, like woman is Earth. It's a black nationalist movement. I know it's basically influenced by Islam. But look, your Harlem stuff. It was founded in Harlem.
Right. So yeah, like before the Renaissance.
Yeah, like 1964.
Okay. So he went from 5% to Muslim. Okay, but you said that was in his Muslim days. So like that was a phase for him. He like today he wouldn't be Muslim, but back in the day when he was going through that's when he was naming y'all.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, interesting. What was your feelings on your name growing up as a child?
I thought it was different. I never met another Madina. So it was, for me, it was unique. It was different. I never had an issue with my name.
Okay.
But now as I get older, I've met people with the name Madina, but not spelled the same way that mine is spelled.
Would you spell yours?
Madina. As, most people spell it Medina, which is actually a Spanish last name.
Mm-hmm. Not to be confused. Yeah, exactly. Madina and then the Medina, like the that's like Bogota. That's Colombia type shit. That's when I hear it spelled that way. That's what made me think some Colombian type stuff. Yeah, Medellin, type of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for indulging me on that. Now we can start the show. I just had to get that out because I've always wanted to know. I remember when she introduced you to me, like as far as your name was, I was like, oh my God, that's so strong. Like, do you even know what that means? She's like, oh, I was calling Madina. That's it. I'm like, nigga, what? She's named after the holy city. Like, are you serious? That's major. Because I got a friend who his name is Allah. His name is Allah. Wait a minute. It's Allah Salem, but it's his middle name is something else. I can't remember the middle part. But yeah, so it's like when I be hearing certain names, it just make me perk up. Like, whoa, it's power in your name. My name is my name. Some people don't look at it that way, but yeah, I'm a fan. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I'm a fan. I'm fanning out right now. But now that we've got that out the way, what they call you where you from? Let's get that out the way. I need all the names they call you. What they call you where you from? You got any nicknames? That's question number one around here.
They call me Zena, short for Medina. That's about it. Zena.
So mommy, daddy, they just shortening up your name? They don't have no little cute little nicknames for you when you was growing up?
My dad calls me Mooch. My father calls me Mooch. And my aunt calls me Brooklyn.
See, now we get to it. You tried to play me. They just call me Ada. No. Mooch. Okay. I mean, it sounds cute, but was it because you was always, like, asking him for stuff?
No, never. If I call my dad on a three-way right now, he'll tell you, my father is an old school hustler. He'll tell you, like, no, my daughter, she was always about her getting her money. I never, I've been working since I was 7 years old. When I tell that story, people are like, how?
First job. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what my mind was. First job.
Family business, working on the ice cream truck. Yeah, every summer, that's what I did, Mr. Softy. From 7 years old, I say, I used to turn cones into gold bones. That was one of my little rhymes I used to have back in the day.
Say that one more time.
Turn cones into gold bones. Because I used to do
even young, you about the paper. Right. Okay, so quick segue then. So how many siblings do you have?
I have a whole lot of siblings. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to claim it's 6 of us.
Come on now, you know you can't just say that. So go ahead and elaborate, but break it down. Why are we only claiming 6 siblings if there's more?
I know about them, but they're not around us. So it's like, they're there. I don't know what they know about us, but I just know they're there.
Okay. Let me tell you why I asked. I was trying to figure out, because if it's a family business and if you're working on the ice cream truck, I was just trying to figure out the roles, the positions, the dynamics. So if you on the cone who driving, who doing this, who doing that. How many of it was y'all on the truck? Or that's what I was really going to.
Okay, no, okay. So my uncle was the driver. He basically was running, handling the business. Be two of us, it would be me and my cousin. It would be me and my sister. But my siblings, they're older than me. So they used to work just to get paid to go buy sneakers and then go to these parties on the weekend. So they never wanted to work on the weekend, and they would always get fired. So it would just be me on the truck by myself, and I would be able to hold it down. So, my father, my uncle, they always looked at that like, she don't need to work with nobody. She's there working by herself.
At 7? That was probably about 8, 9. You weren't running it.
No, 10. My uncle would come back there and he would help me. But mainly, like, when I was, 9, 10, I was doing everything by myself. And it was a good thing because that helped me be really good with math. I was, most kids, a lot of kids, they don't know how to count money at 7 and 6. It's like you're just learning those things. But I knew how to count money early.
I like that. Now was this Mooch era or was this Brooklyn era? Like when did Mooch get introduced?
No.
Like around 7, 8? Like when was Mooch?
No, Mooch was from a baby. That was from a baby era, like Mooch. That was my nickname from my dad. He always called me Mooch, and my aunt called me Brooklyn.
Now you said aunt, so is that mom's side, dad's side?
Dad's side.
Dad's side. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why she call you Brooklyn? I'm gonna get back to that Mooch. You ain't finna let that. I'm not letting that go.
So
why she call you Brooklyn?
They call Madina. They call Madina Brooklyn. Brooklyn is Madina. This was back in the same 5% days. They used to call Brooklyn Madina, so she calls me Brooklyn because she became like, a 5%er female. So that was her thing. She would call me Brooklyn.
I'm glad you added that. So the 5%, 5%ers, they do allow women into their movement.
Yeah, they do. They call them.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you breaking up? What do they call them?
They call them Earth.
Oh, like Earth, like Mother Earth.
Mother Earth, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. See, I don't know about the 5%, but what you're saying makes sense to me.
I don't know a lot about it either. I just know what I was told, I never really got into that too much.
Okay. Has he ever talked about what Mooch means to you? I mean, to him, like why he calls you Mooch, or what made him pick that name? You told me what Brooklyn means. I'm just trying to get under that, and I'll leave Mooch alone. We ain't gonna say that too many more times. They don't need to know all that.
I never asked him that, but now since you say that, I am gonna ask him that today. But I never asked him. He just always called me that, and I just knew that was my name, like my father's calling me.
Mm-hmm. Because the only time I hear Mooch, it took me back to one of my classmates when I was in college. He was a beat maker. We called him Mooch. Mm-hmm. But then the word Mooch itself, like a moocher, like you're always trying to take or get something off of me or from me. So that's why I was like, damn, called his daughter Mooch. I want this, what I'm saying? She always in his pockets or something. What's going on? I didn't know. So okay, I'm curious. So when you ask him, hey, I was on a podcast today. They was curious. Why you call me Mooch, man? What's up?
Yeah, basically living off of somebody without anything in return. So that's what a moocher is. But no, I'm not like that.
And you wasn't like that. That motto said it all. I think that was a motto. Can you say it one more time for me? With the bones.
Oh, turning cones into gold bones.
So we own that. Well, let's slide there. So here we go. What's your motto in life? Words to live by, or either words to die to. Do you have anything like that?
I always would say, it is what it is. Life is what you make it. I'm a good believer. I believe in do as to others as you want done to yourself. I'm a giver. I'm definitely a giver. I'm not a taker. I'm always trying to find ways to help people. I definitely believe in what you put out is what you get back in life.
I like that. Especially the one you just said, like with the do unto others. I like that. I don't really think you can go wrong if you just live your life that way. Like, unless you just like mistreatment, meaning like, okay, right. I'm going to do unto others as I want to be done. So if you like and appreciate mistreatment, then that probably wouldn't be good. But if you're a person who don't want to be mistreated, then you're not going to mistreat anyone. And I always ask that question.
Right.
Can anyone give me a reason why someone should be mistreated? I've always wanted to know an answer on that one. So, yeah, I like that. But I would love for you to elaborate on the first thing you said, because I hear this often.
It is what it is.
What does that mean to you?
It is what it is means to me is basically whatever it is, whatever it's going to be, that's what it is. It's like you either accept it, deal with it, or you don't. It's like, it is what it is. I don't even know how to fully break that down, but I just know, like, you come through, you know, in life there's so many obstacles and things that you go through. And it's like, how do you accept certain things, or are you willing to accept certain things? How are you going to deal with it? So for me, it's like, my motto, I just say, it is what it is. It's whatever you make out of it. What you gonna do with the tools you just gained, or what you gonna do with the situation. It is what it is.
Okay, move to the next one. Here we go. Has someone ever given you a last chance, and for what? Ultimatum type thing. Yeah.
No,
Madina,
no.
you better not do this again. You say no?
Huh? No. Mm-mm.
Wait a minute.
Relate.
Okay, just slow down. Here, I see you did kind of think about it. Well, hold on. So in 30 some years, you have never received an ultimatum, like not from parents, not school, not siblings, not friends, job. I don't know if you play sports. Like, no one in life has ever said, Madina, don't do that again. Or even if they didn't say it, you see the writings on the wall. So you got to kind of do something to change the course of this. Otherwise, it's going to be a negative outcome for you. That's never happened in life.
I mean, it has, but I can't think of a time, like, you know, like I could say, well, someone gave me a ultimatum for change. I mean, I could say, you know what, going to work late. I always say since 11, I'm late to everything. I say, my husband's like, you're going to be late to your own funeral. I'm like, you know what? That is a problem. That is an issue.
But you don't sound serious. You don't sound like it's a serious issue. Hold on, slow down. Now, because even at work, it hasn't gotten to the point where, like, someone has stepped to you and be like, hey, there's a problem with your tardiness. Is it? Has it gotten to that point?
Well, I can clock in from home, as I work in the field. So it's like I just have the perfect job, if that makes sense. So, you know, I do have a grace period to clock in by, but I'm able to clock in. You know, when I worked for the government, I always had 30 issues. You know, I have written warnings. I have had those, but I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm late. I'm a late person. I don't know why. I try to fix it. I've been working on it lately, but I still be late. It's bad.
And I mean, you're even late with your husband, like, because he's noticed it. He said something to you. So what is your thing with time? Like, what's your concept of time? Like, how do you feel about time?
Time is very important. Time is of the essence, right? But ever since 9/11, you know, my uncle, he would have died because he had to be to work that day, and he was late to work. So I always think about that in the back of my head. Like, if something happens, but you don't make it there in time, you might be late for it. I know, maybe something bad may not happen to you. I don't know. It's just crazy. I'm just not a on-time person. I try to be. It depends on what it is and what it's for.
Some feel and think that, like, when people don't show up on time and they say they're going to be there on time, it can be a form of disrespect. I don't know how you feel on that.
Oh, you know,
I want to say something on your uncle too.
It's true.
Go ahead.
That's very true. But let me tell you something. You know, for my clients, because, you know, what I do on the side, my trade is hair. So I'm a cosmetologist. But for my clients, I'm always on time for them. And my husband said, what is it about you not being on time for other things, but you're always on time for your clients? And, you know, I guess that's because that's my business and I take pride in it. So maybe I have more respect for being an entrepreneur versus working for someone. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
No, you cleaned it up, but you was finna say it, but then you cleaned it up. So I'm gonna finish it for you. So having respect for your time, but not having respect for other people's time. Like you wanted to say, then you cleaned it up professional, because watch this. When you say professional, you late for work. That's right. Professional. You late for work. Mm-hmm. So don't try to tip your toe on it. You smoke with your therapist. This is what we do. My job is to help you face the reality of the situation. Don't lie to yourself. You can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. So okay, I get that. When you talk about your uncle, though, I get what you're saying. Here's my logic on it. I got a different kind of slant. I'm feeling you, but I'm going to twist it. So here we go. Time is right. Time is exact. If your uncle was supposed to be there, he was going to be there. If your uncle wasn't supposed to be there, he wasn't going to be there. That's it. Mm-hmm. I ain't going for the, because he was late. That's why. Nah. It wasn't his time. He was supposed to be there. Oh, yeah, I know.
I totally feel what you're saying, but that's my bullshit excuse.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I like it, because I would have said the same. Oh, shit, I'm always late, man. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm listening to you, and I'm giving the advice, but I'm talking to myself the whole time. Like, the whole time I'm talking to you, I'm really giving myself the same advice. Like, even today, I hit you at 12:02.
Makes you slow.
Nah, it ain't, man. Because I ain't even smoked today. This is my first time smoking all day. But I think it's just kind of what you said, in the sense of, okay, here we go. I'm a little bit opposite of you. I'm going to be a little vulnerable, too. So here we go. Since 2016, I have not been late to work. Not 1 minute late to work. I've gotten awards for attendance, just for like being on time and all that type of stuff. I made it a conscious effort to do it. Right? It's like it switched in my head. Like, okay, I'm not going to be late anymore, because that's one thing I can control on my job. Meaning, if anything ever happens and they need to cut some corners, or they need to start letting people go, or I need to be able to take control of everything I can and have 100 in that category, and the unknowns, I'll do the best I can, but I can't control the unknown. So when that come. So if I know that's one thing that they're looking at or not looking at, but when it's time to start looking at the review on shit, they go, oh, wait, it's like, that's my reputation. Mm-hmm. I'm on time. Right. But in my personal life, I can't be on time for my friends. I can't be on time for the events. My wife, you know what I'm saying? Shit, we what time it is. We know we're supposed to leave. I got to roll another blunt before we leave. I got to do something before we leave. You know what I'm saying? It's like so I want to work on that. I really do want to work on that, just like you said. But at the same time, I heard the tone. I didn't really hear no urgency. How serious is this problem? If we're saying that most people in your life are identifying, hey, you late. You say, yeah, I know I'm late. You kind of talking like, accept me as I am.
They had a meme on social media that said, if you would someone was to give you $1 million for you bringing someone, I'm quoting, I don't know exactly the wording, but basically, if you was to win $1 million for having someone always be late, like someone's gonna be late. I had about 10 relatives tag me to it. I was like, what are you guys trying to say?
They go stage an intervention for you. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being 5 being a sense of like severe urgency. Where are we on this scale for the problem that you've identified and others have identified, and you agree with what they say? So where are we with this problem, this time management? How serious are we about changing? That's what I want to know. Oh, okay. Now you gave me information on the sense of family members sent you something. So if family members sent you something, this is a lifelong habit that you have. This is not something that you started when you was an adult. Is that okay to say? I'm on a limb.
Started as an adult.
Also when you were a child, you was on time.
I had no choice. Yeah, we were always on time.
Oh, are you rebelling?
I don't know.
Let me tell you what, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you was always on time, you might have been forced to do something that's against your nature. Like, okay, watch this. When y'all was on time, were they always waiting on you?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, so you weren't the
Not
last
at
one to get
all.
ready or nothing like that.
No. Mm-mm. It's always me changing it. Like, I'll have one outfit out and I'll be like, you know what, let me throw this on. Let me throw that on. It becomes, it's a clothing thing.
But that could be solved in the sense of if you picked it maybe the night before because you know what you got to do. Like, unless it's something that happened like spur of the moment, you know what's coming up. Maybe we can do a little prep the night before in the sense of just having an idea. So I'm going to pick out maybe 2 to 3 outfits, accessorize, get that together,
Listen,
and I'll make my decision
I started doing
last minute. Okay, is that helping?
I started, yeah, that's helping a lot. Usually, we go to concerts a lot, and we might be like an hour late to a concert. But, we've been making it on time. We have.
Like, fuck the opening act. I ain't really trying to see all that anyways. That's the logic?
Yeah.
Or?
But, yeah. No, that's not the logic, because my husband is an on-time person.
Right, he waiting on you every time?
Yeah. All the time. He be cursing me out. I'm like, you know what? I know I'm admitting to being late all the time. He's like, what you gonna do about it, though?
See what I mean? I gotta be real with you though, Madina. If it's at a 3, you're not gonna change it. Like, it would need to be more of a 5 for you to really change, because it's gonna take some effort. It's gonna take some real, like, soul searching. You got to get deep, because this is part of you. Like, you've been doing this well over almost 20 years. Like, come on now. Like, nah.
No, you.
This is part of who you are.
With you, yeah, but I don't want it to be, because that's bad characteristics. But I'm on time for certain things. And it might be, like you said, things that I feel that may be important to me, and other things is like, when I get there, I get there, But that's like, if I was going to a wedding, I would be on time for that. If I was going to, like I said, with my clients, I'm on time for them. I'm always there before they're there. And you know what? And me as a stylist, most of my clients are Caucasian, and they're always on time. But my black clients, they're never on time. And it irks my nerves. Like, they know that it makes me upset. So if you have an appointment at 3 o'clock and you want to show up at 5, when you get to the shop, if you're my last client, you won't be seeing me.
All right. You just hit on it. So let's touch this. I'm gonna work my way back. So, black people. Now, this is how I see things, and this is for conversation. So anything I say, if you feel it, say it. If you don't say it. Like, for real. This is where we at right now. So, all right. Black people waste other black people time, like, all the time. Like, this is what we do. We waste other black people's time. We don't value each other's time all the time. And that's a statement. I got more. So what do you think on just that part right there? Because I'm finna go to the other part you said.
I don't think it has to do with black on, like, I'm black and you and we're wasting each other's time. I think that black people are just known to be late to a lot of things.
All right. I'm glad you said that. You give me great segues. So now let's touch on something else you said. You say you have a lot of Caucasian clients, and they're always on time, right? So this is my observation, just from working. I don't have my own, well, I have a business now, but I don't have white clients. When I was working for someone, and I've done that since I was 13, 14 years old, usually I'm on time to these type of jobs, and they're owned by white people. So by definition, most black people will be on time to white people shit. Meaning, if you got to go clock in, you got to be somewhere, or you make an appointment with the Caucasian person, you usually on time. But then when it's black people and you make a appointment with another black person or a non-white person, you don't value that time the same way, and you just kind of show up when you show up, not so much of the other way around. Now, that's a theory I got, then that's my lived experience. Like, I'm always on time for work. But when it comes to my friends who look just like me, I don't show up on time for that. When my husband, who look just like me, I don't show up on time for that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's, I don't know, business, maybe because it's your business, I guess. But I'm speaking general, not just you. I'm saying, like, generally speaking, I think that's how it goes. Yeah, we'll be on time for something that white people have, business-wise, whatever-wise, personal-wise. I don't give a damn. But when it comes to us and how we see it, we don't value our time the same way. Even a family event. What you think on that? Talk to me.
Well, to me, like I told you, I know my business, how I run things. I'm always on time, whether my first client is, African American or Caucasian. For my business, I'm gonna be on time. I value my own personal time, and you know what? And that's sad to say because it does seem as if you don't value other people's time. Just listening to it, I really do need to start being on time for other things and other events. And I'm definitely gonna try to change, but I'm always late too, so I know exactly how that feels because I have clients that do it to me and I leave.
Right.
I might give you a 15-minute grace period, but I will leave you. Like, no, we're not doing this today.
All right, well, let's lighten it up a little bit. I got another one for you. When have you ever made the first move?
Oh my God, I don't do that. I don't make first moves. You know what? I just had this conversation. I was talking to my younger siblings the other day about this. I don't know. I want to say, because I say maybe this is an old school thing. I don't believe in making a move on an opposite sex. I always feel like a man is supposed to pursue a woman. That's just my thought on it.
Why is it that the man has to pursue the woman?
I don't know. I feel like I was brought up that way. So, my grandmother, she always would tell me, you don't need to pursue anybody. If somebody wants you, they'll pursue you. And that's what it's always been. I never had to pursue anybody, or even make a first move. It was like, you know what? It just made it feel special. I know a lot of women that do, they'll see a guy and they'll go talk to a guy. That's never been my thing.
But if you see a guy and you're attracted to a guy, do you at least maybe give some body language or something to let him know maybe that it's okay to come talk to you? What do you think on that? Do you do that at all?
I've never did it. It's just, I don't know. I just have this theory in my head, like, if he see you and he wants you or he likes you, he's going to approach you. You don't have to do anything. It's just, he just naturally likes you.
I feel you on that. Now, all right, this is my mind. So in your life, you've seen a guy that you're attracted to. What would you do?
If I seen a guy that I was attracted to?
Not now, but I'm saying, like, back in the day,
I know.
Because
I would.
Nothing. Like you would.
I would.
Like no.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't approach him. Nothing. No.
No, I'm not saying approach. Not saying approach. But you see him. He might see you. You don't give him nothing. No eye. No nothing. No, you cold.
You know
you're
what?
Cold.
I know. And you know what I want to say? Because I hear this all the time. I have family that live like in Florida and Alabama and all over. And they say that New Yorkers are different. Like, how our personality, like they say, I don't want to use the word hard, but it's like we're hard, and we're not really open like that. Like, people from different states are more welcoming. We're not like that. It's like, and it's not like, because my brother will say, like, girls out of town, he'll go out of town and he'll meet girls and they just talk to him like nothing. But when he comes to New York, it's like everybody's so hard. Like, you can't talk to no girl. You can't approach no girl. And I think that it might be that, being that I'm from here, that may play the environment,
Okay, so you told me how you're not, meaning like, okay, comparing to other places, we're not like that. Cool. So from your observation, how are you? Give me some characteristics of the common New Yorker when it comes to just interacting with people.
I'm more laid back. I think I have more of if I don't know you, it's like me having my walls are up. I'm very guarded. It's like you have to get to know me. I have to get to know you. I just don't trust people easily. I'm not, just going to walk up to you like, hey, how you doing? That's not me. As I got older, though, I will start a conversation. Hey, how you doing? But like, it's different. Even when you go out of state and you see everyone you're walking around, they're like, hey, how are you? You don't know anybody. We didn't. New York is not like that. It's like you see somebody, you just keep it moving. We're not speaking. We're not saying, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
If you go other places and you see how they do things is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember going in for the first time. They knew I was a tourist. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. It's definitely different up there. So I get that. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that with me. It's interesting that when I asked the question about the first move, your mind went straight to a relationship or dealing with the opposite sex, because we make first moves all the time, and it has nothing to do with that. So, maybe next, think it over, because I asked you this, shit, just something so simple. Like I remember asking this question, and one person they actually was thinking outside the box, because they was like, oh, I know what you want. I ain't giving you that. Here we go. I was playing a board game yesterday. I went first. You just made a first move. You know what I'm saying? Or I was at a four-way stop. I'm always going first at a four-way stop. It's just so many different things that you do and you make first moves. But when I ask that question, a lot of times our minds do go to that, man-woman dynamic.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, when have you made the first move, that relationship was, but that could be answered many ways.
Yes, I agree. But I'll say this. I know we pressed up for time, so I want to get this last question in so I can let you make sure you get to your next thing on time. All right? So let's discuss something in your life you just can't seem to get over or push through, even as time passes. So this is not like the day-to-day stuff. This is I can't really understand why I keep going through this. Like I really thought I handled it, but here we go again.
All right. So can we, I have anxiety, right? I was thinking about this as we were talking about me being late to things. It's like you feel like you pushing yourself, and it's not an everyday thing that I go through anxiety, but right before we had COVID, I started experiencing anxiety. On a high level, to where it was like, I was going to the doctor and they didn't know what was wrong with me. Nobody could really tell me like what was going on. I wasn't eating. I was losing a lot of weight. I just had so many things going on in my mind. And then it's like when I drive and if it's a lot of traffic, I feel closed in. And then I'm like, okay, so it'll be months where I'm fine and I can just drive and go and do whatever. And then it'll be times when I'll feel that same way, or if it's a lot of traffic and I'm looking and I'm trying to, maneuver, and then it's like I'm stuck in traffic. I feel like, I'm hot and flustered, and I'm just like, I thought I got through this, like, okay, I'm calming myself down. I thought that I was over it, but it keeps happening,
Yeah.
So it's like.
And you said, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
No, I was saying it becomes very frustrating. It feels like it's taking over your life. Because you'll have things that, you're supposed to do. And I think that may have something to do with my time management also, because it's like, you're dealing with that. You don't know how you're going to feel. Sometimes I just don't want to drive. I want to move to another state. And then it's like when you go places and you're not familiar, it becomes like you become flustered and it builds up your anxiety. You become anxious. So those are things that, I go through.
When you're going through one of those episodes, how do you calm yourself down, or how do you, push through it?
How I calm myself down is, your brain, you thinking so many things. When you have anxiety, you could think more negative than positive. For me, it's like, for me to calm myself down, I'll cut the AC on and make myself really cold. Or I'll roll the windows down to where I can feel the breeze on my face. Or if I'm in the house, I'll take a cold shower. That's how I deal with it. Or I'll talk myself down, or I'll just, go have a seat. And I learned how to work through things, because some people say, well, you could smoke weed because it'll make it go away, or it'll pacify it to where you won't be experiencing that anymore. But I feel like, they say anxiety is mental illness, but I don't classify it as a mental illness. I don't know why, but I just don't. I feel like if you do have a mental illness and you do drugs or you smoke weed, it heightens whatever you're going through.
Agreed. That's my opinion. I'm not a doctor on that level, but yeah, I totally agree with that part of it. You said you noticed it during the pandemic or like after the pandemic? Like, is that what you said?
No, right before the pandemic. Right before the pandemic. It was like October of 2019. It was October 2019. And then the pandemic came, what was that, March 2020? But of October of 2019, I started having panic attacks, like little small panic attacks. I would be at work, and I just wasn't feeling like myself. I started having these really bad headaches, and I'm like, I went to every neurologist you could think of, all types of specialists. I had brain scans, all types of medical procedures, and there was nothing. They were like, there was nothing. And then I went to one neurologist, and he did a test. He said, you have anxiety.
Do they prescribe medication for that type of stuff or no?
They do. Yeah, they do. I refuse. I'm not, I'm a clean eater. I'm a pescatarian, sometimes vegetarian, but more on the pescatarian side. I don't take no types of medications at all. I don't take Tylenol. I don't take aspirin. I take nothing. It's like I'm just going to let my body go through whatever it's going to go through. I'll be fine.
Understood. When you brought up the anxiety, you kind of had a reflection because you brought in like the time, like meaning like, yeah, when we were talking about how you being late, but then you kind of equated that with the anxiety. When you said
sometimes that's a part of it. Sometimes like you don't know if you're gonna like have an anxiety, if you're gonna have an attack. Going certain places or sometimes I don't like being around a whole lot of people. Like, we go to concerts, but I'll fight it because I'm like, you know what, I can't be like this because this is not life. I've always been an outgoing person, but it's like now as I'm getting older, it's like you can't do nothing. You feel like you're stuck. So it's like with me feeling like I'm stuck, I'm going to fight through it. So I have to fight it, but I may not be on time or I may not want to go in when it's a rush of people going in at one time. I just want to walk in and I'm going to leave before the concert's over. So I'm not feeling closed in with a rush of people when I'm leaving. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, I completely understand what you're saying. So I'm one of these people that we can talk about a symptom all day, but a scientific approach, you're not going to treat the symptom. You're going to listen to that symptom. We're going to try to get to that origin or that source, like the source, the root. And this is my opinion from what you just told me from this conversation. Listen, I have no stake in the game. I only listen to what you told me. So if you gave me more and maybe we did a whole other session, we could even unwrap this a different type of way. I'm hearing control. Control. So when you're in situations that you can control, I think you're going to be on time and really not going to have any type of chance to have an anxiety attack. But the times that you aren't on time, it's because you kind of going through that process in your head, like you're saying, like, I already know what I'm going to get myself into, and this is not something I really, want to do because of the anxiety issues that could possibly happen. So I got to get myself right and get through that. And yeah, we saying this for the clothes and for this other stuff, but it's also mental. And like it's in my head. Like I'm really processing what I'm finna go do. And it take me to gear up enough to now, okay, boom, let me go attack that thing. Like, because watch this. You said it yourself. In your business, always on time. That's an environment that you can control. You set your own appointment. You know your customers. Your clients. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like them, you can get rid of them. Like whatever the case may be. This is your business. This is your baby. You mold it. You shape it how you want to. And your environment that you're in, you control that too to a certain degree. Because if you don't like that, you can get up out of it or switch it. So you have a lot of control in that, and you want time for that. And I can almost guarantee from what you just said, since the 19, you haven't really had no anxiety attack while you at your business. Is that safe to say? Oh, you have?
No, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. See,
But it's like
I'm all
it's
cocky
like
over
I'm
here. I'm
in
talking about shit.
control. Yeah, but you know what you're saying. You're right. But I have experienced it being at my business, and I'm just,
Yeah.
it's like I'll get through it.
Right.
I'm like, I'll
Okay.
get through it.
How long would an episode usually last for you? Like, are they quick spurts, or can it like last for a long time? Like, well, yeah. What's an average for you if something
I
like
mean,
this happens?
it varies.
Hmm.
Before they used to be like, I can't even put a time on it. I just know how I
Yeah.
would be feeling. But
Hmm.
now I feel like, you know how you go through something and you know what it consists of to bring yourself out of it. I feel like I'm coping with it in my own way, and I never want to use. I don't ever want to use medication to bring me out of what I'm going through. I feel like I'm in control of myself, So I have
Yeah.
to. I have my own way of coping with it, and I,
I
deal
hear
with
that.
it to the best of my ability.
You have someone to talk to about it?
Yeah, I definitely do. I've been to therapy. And you know what? You need a safe person. So, like, my husband is my safe person. Like, I don't travel without him. And that's what I don't want to become a hindrance, because I tell him that all the time. He's like, no, it's not like that. I understand. And, but yeah, I have a safe person, which is my husband, and he knows how to, like, talk to me and bring me back, so that's a good feeling.
Yeah. Support system.
I've been therapeutic for other people who go through who have anxiety attacks too, because I've told them things how I cope with it, and they've tried it, and they're like, oh my God, what you're saying, it really worked. And I'm like, and they've been on medication, and they say it makes them sleepy or drowsy, or it makes them feel like a zombie. And I'm like, I don't do medication. This is what I do. Try this. Try this oil, or try that, and they've done it, and they're like, you know what, that really works.
Now these things that you're recommending, they're natural.
All natural. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like your story is like a testimony in a sense, because I mean you're still dealing with it, you're pushing through. I mean use your words, you were saying how you have some coping mechanisms. Yeah, but then you're also helping others who are going through it, and they're seeing results positively. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're helping people even though you're going through it yourself. That's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm. But then, you read up about these things, and it says, your body may be missing certain minerals, and then you start going holistic route, and then you stop having these attacks, and then you start putting these other things back into your body, eating candy, eating little things here and there because you're on the road, and you realize, you know what? Once I detox and I'm not putting these bad chemicals into my body, I feel much better. I'm thinking clear. I'm not having these attacks. So why am I having these attacks? And it could be some things that you think are good for you, but they're really not.
Would you give an example of something like that?
It could be just like some type of food that you may have had, right? Say it's a seasoning, but you don't know it have MSG in it because you're not reading all of the chemicals, and it may have red 40 in it. And or you went to a restaurant and you think that you're eating healthy food, but they season it up with this seasoning in it that has red 40 or MSG. And
Right.
you don't know, so you're eating it and you think you're eating something good that's nourishing, and then you start feeling these heart palpitations, or you feel like you're having a heart attack, or you feel like you're dying, but it's because of the chemicals that are in the food that you're eating that you thought was healthy. So it's like
The food
now you
is
have
the
to cook for
drug.
yourself. Right. You have to cook for yourself. You have to know, like, certain dyes affect certain things in your brain, certain chemicals, it makes you imbalanced.
It's interesting you say that. I try to eat at home as much as I possibly can and not eat out at restaurants for that reason right there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just that reason, but that is one of the leading like factors in it. I try to. But because of life and convenience, you out in the world, so you're gonna have to eventually get something to eat. But
Sometimes.
man,
Yeah.
yeah. But I make it a conscious effort. Like I take stuff with me. I pack stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my little code right now. You know, I've probably been doing that for about 3 years, but it's like, you know, if I don't have to do it,
That's
I'm
great.
not doing it. Man, well, you shared a lot, yo. I really appreciate you doing this with me, Madina.
Anytime.
Well, I end every show this way. What do you call me? How did we meet? And sell it straight. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to fluff it up. Just what you call me? How did we meet?
Well, your name is Eric. I do call you Eric. But what I call you? Our husband. My friend. You're married to my friend, so I met you through Vashti. We've been friends. I don't want to say for how many years because then that might tell how old I am. But that's my best friend, Vashti. She's my daughter's godmother. She means the world to me. And I'm happy, you know, that you make her happy because if there was anything else, you know, I'm coming for your head.
Woo. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you got sis back. I'm glad you got her back. I'm glad you got her back. Yeah. Nah, that's good. That's good. I like to hear that. I like to hear that right there.
Put the H down. Put the H down.
Yes, good people.
Man, put the H down and come solve these problems.
Understand I don't know y'all. Remember, I love everybody. I am not your licensed therapist, and nothing shared on this podcast should be taken as medical, mental health, or legal advice. The discussions we have here are for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. We engage in open, honest conversations, sometimes including the mindful use of cannabis in a therapeutic setting. So kick back, take what resonates, and remember, always consult your own licensed professional for personalized guidance.